Hey guys, this is Jason
This is
Douglas.
Adam MacArthur, voice of Yuji Itadori.
This is Derek Snow, the voice of Shinra Kusakabe.
This is Phil Parsons, voice of Kenny the Ripper Ackerman.
It's Merc Nguyen. You are watching Voice of the Heroes. Take it away, Flea Boy.
What's good, everybody? You know who it is and what it is. And if you don't, it's the one and only one Flea Boy Jetson. And if you're tuning in for the first time, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any interviews or discussions from our favorite heroes and villains from around the world. And today we got a very special guest. You might have seen him in shows like General Hospital, SWAT, Vice Force Action Squad, and he is the voice of Gus from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and 3, and he's currently in one of the biggest games in the world as Namor. Let's welcome Daniel Marin. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going? How's it going?
Welcome to the show. Well, like I said, man, you're in one of the biggest video games in the world right now, currently over 20 million players worldwide, globally, might I say, and sustaining over 500,000 players daily as Namor. How did you get the role, and what did you think about the outcome of the video game?
Man, like most jobs that we get as actors, we don't know what we're getting. It's just you get an audition and you kind of send it in and hope for the best. With this one in particular, it was under a different name. Obviously, they put a different code, so we're not, things don't leak and that kind of stuff. But the description was very similar to that of like underwater superhero. So when I got it, I kind of had a feeling, and they sent a picture of Namor from MCU, and just to be like, this is sort of the vibe of who he might be, like, so that you get an idea of how to play this character. I never actually thought that it would be Namor, so that was a very interesting thing. I didn't find out that it was that until I actually booked the job, and they told me, by the way, this is for a Marvel video game, which is just surreal in itself, because
it's Marvel, man, one of the biggest franchises in the world. I'm so stoked for you, because he's one of the biggest villains in, comics, as for Black Panther, and he was also in Black Panther 2. Did you put your own little spin on him, or did you, take little bits and pieces from other content?
It was a little bit of everything. The team at Marvel has been really, really cool in allowing me to bring my own sort of spin, like you say, my own personality, my own things that I thought would work better for him. You mentioned he's a villain. In my eyes, he's only a villain to those who are in his way. He believes that he stands up for his people and his world. You're either on his side or in his path. And so I don't know that he sees himself as a villain. He just sees himself as, I am the right person for this job. And if it happens to be against you, then I am your villain, So that was something that I wanted to definitely add. And there was a line in the audition. He says, typical air breather. And the way he refers to humans, they are sort of insects beneath him, So that was something that really made me think that, oh, Namor is an arrogant being. He definitely sees, like I said, humans as less than. And so that's how he has to approach them. And so being able to bring this robust sort of, typical air breathers becomes typical air breathers. It's really neat. And like one of my favorite lines that he says, "Those who oppose me shall be left to drown in my wake." It's exactly that, you are in my way. So and be able to bring that. I remember the developers, they told me at one point, they said, of all the people we auditioned for this part, you're the one that brought the most unique sort of take and personality to him that really brings him to life in a way that other people didn't. And so I to me, it was just super exciting to even get the opportunity, because most of these other characters, the Hulk, Iron Man, Spider-Man, they've been voiced by the same guys for years on either other video games
or like Steve or Yuri.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So to be able to put my name next to theirs on anything, I'm mind blown by it, because I'm a fan. And so, I'm a fan first, and now I get to be a part of it. It's like a sort of Cinderella. It's my own Cinderella story,
I'm
Yeah.
so stoked for you, man. That's awesome because not only now are you a part of this franchise, because anything can happen. Now the doors are open, so you never know. There might be an animation where they need, your character there. So being under the Marvel banner is so dope. Are you invested in the movies? Do you watch the movies?
Yeah, I definitely watched all the MCU movies in chronological order. My wife and I did like a marathon viewing right before we had kids, and then the ones that have come out post kids, we've kind of like tried to trickle in here and there. But definitely, I mean, to me, the Marvel movies are so good because they're more about character. They just happen to be about superheroes, but there's so much heart to all of them. The writing is great. They're just done so well. They've done something in the superhero genre that just has elevated it. And so, I also got a lot of inspiration from watching Tenoch Huerta's performance in Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever,
What do you
because
think about the skin that they added to the game for it?
oh, it's so good. It's so good. I mean, honestly, it's really funny because I didn't know that Namor was such a thirst trap. And like, I stream as well when I play, so it's been funny because I've noticed that most of my followers on my stream are female, and I'm like, are you here for me or because Namor is a good looking fella, you know?
Hey, for the people watching, let them know where you stream and what time you stream.
Yeah, it's Danger Marin. It's my Twitch name, and I try to stream every night. I'm super casual about it, so I don't have like a set schedule. And I have little kids, so if they're sick, I just won't get on. But for the most part, it's been a casual, fun experience for me. But yeah, I have a little community that's growing, and I'm really engaging it. I play with viewers all the time, so if you want to come on by and let's hop in game. Yeah.
And also, all the links will be in the description below. So go check them out. Go support. Definitely show some love and let them know where you came from. Now, you say you play video games. So let's switch to your second video game character. Well, your first, actually, that I've seen on your IMDb, Gus from Call of Duty. I was gonna ask you about the face skin and all that, because you and Gus got some similarities, man. I do look alike. So I was like, yo, Call of Duty got a habit of, sometime pulling in the characters IRL.
That's
And how did you get involved in Call of Duty?
That's really funny. I've been playing Call of Duty since like 2010. And so when I got the audition for Call of Duty, it was another one that's like under secret names, but I recognized the lines immediately, saying enemy UAV. It's like,
Hey,
you know what you're getting into.
yeah, I like that. You brought me back to Call of Duty for a second.
Yeah. So, that one was really cool because my character when I got the audition was a Brazilian operator. And I grew up in Brazil, so I speak Portuguese, but I'm from Costa Rica. So, I did it, and you don't hear anything. By the way, on both games, I didn't hear anything for about 6 to 7 months. And then they're like, hey, you got Call of Duty, and I was through the moon because I've been such a fan of the game. To now be able to like be in it was just incredible. And when I got to record it, so we recorded at the Warner Brothers lot, and when I got there, they said, "Hey, Daniel, we found out you're not from Brazil." And I was like, "Oh my God, they're gonna fire me." I'm like, "No, I lived in Brazil. I speak the language." They're like, "No, no, we know you're from Costa Rica. We want you to make Gus Costa Rican." So I thought that was incredible. I got to say things
Me
like,
too.
"Yeah." And also there's one of my favorite lines in Call of Duty as Gus. We were joking with the directors, and she's like, you play a lot, and I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "What's your favorite way to like, kill someone?" And I was like, "Oh, I love throwing like a plasma grenade, a sticky grenade, and getting them a Semtex." And she's like, "Oh yeah, what do you say?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Whoo, throwing sticky." And they all laughed, and the engineer is like, "Hey, I was recording on that." And they kept it, and that's in the game. If you throw a Semtex grenade, he goes, "Whoo, throwing sticky." It just came from like that's me playing the game. So he was a very personal character to me because it's my own things about it. And he's from Costa Rica, which Costa Rica doesn't even have an army. They made a whole backstory as to why this guy's from Costa Rica and joined, military forces. So they did a really cool thing with Gus.
And now your own Costa Rica country is trying to make you a national hero, huh?
Yeah, there's a document in the government that is like, can we make Daniel Marin a national hero before this? And I thought that's so cool. It's a thing where like being able to put a little country like Costa Rica on the map on a stage that big is incredible. So that was just awesome. And then, getting this opportunity to now be Namor on an even bigger scale with Marvel, it's just I'm still
Yeah,
in
you're
the clouds
putting on
about
for Costa Rica, man. Big shout out to Costa
it.
Rica, my guy, man.
Yeah, let's go,
All
bro.
right,
Yeah.
but I don't want to waste too much of your time, but what would be a dream role for you, right, in animation? Because I know you're starting to do a
Honestly,
little voice acting stuff now because you're known for your stuff, your work in General Hospital or Force Squad, things like
yeah.
that. On camera work, might I say, Vice Force Action Squad, excuse me, and on camera work. What would be like a dream role, voice acting wise, for you in the animation field, or what company?
Honestly,
What?
if somehow Rivals became an animated show or any sort of Marvel situation where I could keep doing Namor, I would that would be I mean I could literally retire everything else because I feel like he's such a fun character to embody, and obviously people seem to really like him. So that would be incredible. I also heard that they're potentially doing live action Call of Duty. So if they were to
Mm.
do that and Gus happens to be in it and I'm not in it, I'll be so upset. But going back to like the face stuff, there's an actor that a friend of mine recently discovered. I believe he's an Indian actor and his name is Jag Singh. He is the face and body of Gus. And, and
Okay.
we and we are kind of similar, but when you look at his videos, it's him, right? So it's funny because his Instagram is all videos of Gus and him commenting, me as Gus, whatever. And I've always sort of felt that I was Gus, but now it's weird because I'm like Gus's soul and voice, but this other guy physically looks like him, and together we kind of brought, this guy to life. So that's really fascinating. It's such a weird thing. I've also been told that I have similarities with Namor as well. And so I think it's just coincidence. And I feel like the more personality shines through, the more people are like, oh my God, you're just like that. And it's like, well, yeah, but also no. It's kind of just a random coincidence that happened to work.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. I hope we can get you here for another episode. Definitely get more into it. But heroes, villains, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And also click on them links in the description below. Go check out his Twitch, Instagram, and please keep supporting Marvel Rivals the way that you are. It's a phenomenal game if you haven't played it. And until the next time, man, nobody told you so. I love you, love yourself, and pass that love on and love others. Daniel, thank you so much for coming by.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you for having me. And remember, like the tide, Namor always rises again.
Sing it with me, pretty Cali, pretty Cali.